Hello, welcome to RCR Wireless News. I'm Roberta Prescott covering Mobile World Congress. I'm here with Andre Varga, he's product manager at Samsung for Latin America. Andre, yesterday Samsung launched Galaxy S7 and X7 Edge. Talking about this launch for Latin America, what are the perspectives for our region?
We are very optimistic about the product and acceptance for Latin America. We understand that the design of the product is very linked with our region, and also the features of the phone, the innovations that we're bringing, they are very well accepted by our customers. So we are expecting very optimistic results with this product for this year.
Talking about the results of Samsung and projections for this year and the next year, we heard that Samsung released some projections that this year will be relatively equal of the last year. I'd like to bring these projections and expectations for Latin America market. What do you expect in terms of device sales?
Well, we've been experiencing up to 2014 two digits growth, not only Samsung but the total market. Last year, because of the economic situation, not only in the main markets like Brazil, Argentina, even Mexico, the growth was positive, but not anymore with two digits. So the market is still growing, but not as fast or as big as it was in the past. Because of that, and because of the scenario that we are looking at economically in the region, most probably 2016 will be a similar growth that we had between 2014 to 15.
Is it too different from what is happening worldwide, or it's similar with worldwide projections?
It's a little bit similar with what's happening in the other regions. Obviously, inside Latin America, depending country by country, we can even have bigger growths in some of the countries. But it's a kind of a reflection of what's happening worldwide.
During the Impact event, Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook was there on the stage. Tell me more about Samsung and Facebook partnership and how both companies will work together to leverage virtual reality.
Well, virtual reality is not a new technology, right? It's existing a couple of years, but some new technology to really stick into the customers, it need to have some assets. You need to have some devices to enjoy the content, and that's why the Gear VR and other VR glasses are in the market for. But in the end, what's really teasing the customers is when they can create their own contents, right? One thing is you got a device and enjoy some 3D or 360, but I say content that was made by someone else. But when you're able to do your own content, it gives a different emotional link to it. So that's why we are now launching our first Gear 360, which is a 360 camera. So with that content, with that device, you can create your own contents. But the third part or third asset of this idea is to have also sharing this content. So if you can capture your content, but if you cannot share it, it doesn't have that meaning. So obviously, since Facebook is the biggest social platform in the world, we made this partnership to work together exactly in both parts, hardware in Samsung part and also in the platform part from Facebook.
And talking about this scenario for Latin America, do you think users across the region will engage to virtual reality as the other parts of the world, or do you think it's going to take a little more?
Definitely they will. The idea is, the main aspects of it is the emotional part, right? One thing, again, if you're watching a 360 content that was created professionally by an agency or some professional photographer or filmmaker, the other thing is when you do it, or someone that you know from your family, from your friends are doing something. And this can be a new boundary, a new frontier for the video sharing for the future. So definitely in Latin America, we're very emotional people. We give value, we see value on this. And with these three things, you have the hardware to enjoy, you have the hardware to create the contents, and you have the platform to share it. So we expect, as soon as the consumers will start purchasing this kind of cameras and devices to enjoy, and with this platform, that the adoption will be very fast in Latin America.
Back into device part, as we see the smartphone sales decreasing, I believe Samsung will need to engage other adjacent devices such as handset or camera. How does company is working with this?
Basically, there are two parts on that. Yes, the demand is still growing, but not in that speed that was in the past. The second thing is there are other products lines that you can enjoy if we develop new markets. For example, not only we're talking about handsets or smartphones, but the tablets, but also wearable technologies, right? So all those gears in our portfolio are exactly about that. So this is part of the Internet of Things concept. So Samsung, as an electronics leading company, is also doing some initiatives in that part of the Internet of Things and gears. Obviously, we cannot forget our main business, which is the handset, and we are also developing with our partners, carriers, and also distributors and retailers, all the ways to make the people speed up the replacements of the phones. So we are working in two initiatives, new categories and new ways to speed up the adoption of the phones.
So the main idea would be engage users into the whole Samsung environment. So not only having device, but also wearables or cameras, and building this loyalty to the brand.
That's exactly, yeah. That's the concept of the whole Internet of Things and all the devices that we are bringing to the market.
My last question is regarding the move from feature phones to smartphones. We already saw this shift in some countries across Latin America. Just tell me more about it. In which stage are we today? And people are really seeking for more advanced and high-end smartphones, and how to work these needs or this desire from people to what they can pay.
It's a very, very good question. Regardless of the market growth is reducing a little bit the speed. In Latin America, the penetration of smartphone is not that big. If you compare, for example, U.S. market or even Europe and other more developed regions where the penetration of the smartphone is bigger, in Latin America, in average, we are talking about 25 or less than 30% of the current subscribers in Latin America, they have smartphones. So there's a huge opportunity still to penetrate. There are some barriers for that. One of them is obviously cost of the phone. So there are some people that say, okay, that's nice to have a smartphone, but I don't have money to buy it. So you can work in reducing the cost of the phone or in the way that you make the offer, the value for them. So installments, financing. So there's new business models to offer phones for the end users. The other thing sometimes not the matter of the price, but the technology barrier. Some people think that smartphone usage is complicated. So there's also another initiative of the company to make the usability of the phones easier. So even people which are not tech-oriented enjoy a smartphone, even if it's basic features. So definitely there's a very, very big opportunity converting feature phone users, 2G users, into data-consuming users and smartphone users.
Thank you very much for this interview.
I thank you.